Today we're going to be talking about irrigation systems. With the lawns starting to green up, at least in the southern part of the state, people are thinking about fertilizing, running the systems, kind of getting the grass to green up. So we're going to look at some tips today to see how much water is put down, whether your system's putting the water down uniformly, and then give you some tips on how to check that system periodically. And it's just a simple little can test. Okay, for the can test, we're going to set some cans out. The sprinkler head's over here in the corner, and we're going to set the cans out, making sure that they're level. The cans need to all be of the same size, so that they're flat-sided, even on the bottom. And what we're going to do is catch the spray in these cans, see if the water is equal in all cans. That means that we're getting a uniform coverage over the area. We want to time it, let the system run for about 15 minutes, see how much water is in each can. That'll give us an idea later when we want to put down, say, maybe an inch of water. We'll know how long we need to leave the system on for. So this is kind of called the can test. Okay, now that the system is run for 15 minutes, we want to look at the cans and just kind of visually see how the amount of water in each can looks. The can that has the least amount of water is the one that you're going to have to water the most for. So we're going to go to the one that has the least amount of water. Looks like this one over here. So we'll take this can of water and just a stick, or if you have a ruler, just stick it in, kind of make a mark on it. We've kind of wet somewhere just a little over 1/4 of an inch in 15 minutes. So what we like to recommend is putting on 1 inch of water when you water your lawn. And so for this system, 15 minutes and 1/4 inch of water means it's going to have to run for an hour to put 1 inch of water. And the reason we picked the one with the least amount of water is because this area is going to dry out the fastest. So in some areas you may be overwatering, but you're trying to take care of the dry spot. So we're trying to get this wet down. Since we do have a little bit of variance in the cans, again, you might look at the sprinkler nozzle itself to make sure it's putting out an adequate amount of water so that you're getting good uniformity. You know, since we caught the same amount in several of the cans, it's pretty uniform, but again, you want to look at some of the results in the cans. But again, we like to see 1 inch of water put on for turf areas on each application. That may be once a week, it may be twice a week, but we like to see 1 inch. The other thing we can do is to take a screwdriver and just push it into the ground. And I hit a hard spot there, so this ground is moist somewhere about 4 inches deep. And so just a screwdriver is a good thing to use. Again, just push it into the ground. When it hits hard, you know, where it's harder to push in, that's to the depth of the moist soil. So this is a real quick way you can test to see how much moisture is moved down through the ground. We're looking at, again, on grasses, we like to see somewhere about 6 to 8 inches of moisture for a good root zone area in grass. So this is kind of some simple tips on how to fine-tune your irrigation system.